Okay, we have a very interesting little job today. We're going to be fitting a Hive Mini thermostat system with the receiver, the hub, and all that goes with it. So what we've got here, we've got an old-fashioned programmer on a standard sort of hot tank, and this one is for the heating and for the hot water. So the Hive unit will replace this. Hopefully it'll be fairly straightforward. And we can then control everything from the Hive app. We recently fitted a solar eye boost as well to this gentleman's house. He's got solar panels and he's south facing, so he gets lots and lots of sun. So we fitted this on for his hot water, and already it's hot, and it's only 10:30 in the morning. If you can scroll through to see how much heat is saved, kilowatts is saved. Altogether, say 7 days, 26 kilowatts. Since we fitted it, I think he's saved 99 kilowatts, and all that power has actually gone into his tank, which we've lagged. He's even put this tartan cover over it as well. So that was one we did previously, which is a great investment. They are actually, to divert all your excess energy into the tank, into the hot water tank. So now we'll go fit the Hive. So we'll show you what we're going to do. So this is the Hive unit, and you get 3 little boxes here. One's a thermostat mini, one is the hub, which plugs into your router, and the receiver then, which replaces your programmer. So let's take this out. This is the thermostat, really nice and shiny, a lot smaller than the original one. The original one had a big knob on the front as well, but this one is has little buttons there to increase or decrease temperature, and that's a lovely shiny finish. Then we have the hub that fits in to your router. It has its own power supply and its own Ethernet cable. It's in there somewhere. That's the Ethernet cable. It's got the power supply and an adapter. There we go, so that's that one done. Then we have the receiver. The receiver will then fit in place of the programmer, and you can boost your hot water and your heating by these buttons, and you get the indicator on there as well. And this will then, you can override the app by just walking in here and pressing them, or you normally do everything on the app. And we'll get this set up, and then we'll show you what we do. Check the power off, so we'll take the fuse out the spur, and then everything's gone dead. Now we can check the cover off the old programmer. Turn the programmer off now, and unfortunately for us, it's not on the same frame, so the pins are different. We've seen videos before where you can just swap the Hive unit straight onto the same base, where the connections are exactly the same, but this one is completely different. The spacing is different on the pins. Potterton and the Hive, to see if they're the same, and they are the same. That's the Potterton wiring diagram, and this is the one I've written out for the Hive. The first one, the neutral and live directing are those, which is the same on the Potterton. The first one on the Potterton is number 1, which is hot water off. And on the Hive, number 1 is hot water off. Number 2 on the Potterton is central heating off. Number 2. And on the Hive, you've got heating off, number 2. The next one is number 3, which is hot water on, number 3. And on the Hive, number 3, hot water on. And then you got number 4 on the Potterton, which is central heating on, which is normally open circuit. Central heating on, number 4. And on the Hive, heating on, number 4. On the last one, number 5, it's just a live link. Just creates 2 channels, and it's the same with this one, but you don't have to put the link in because it automatically links itself from the live in. So it's exactly the same. So what we've got to do now is change the mounting bracket and adjust the wiring. Right, this is the back plate for the Potterton. And you can just about see, this is the new one by the way. It's completely different, but the wiring numbers are the same. So we need to mount that, take this one off and mount the new one. But you can see on this one, that if I can point it out, number 2, which is that one there, number 2, it's not being used. And that is heating off. You've only got the heating on number 1. You're not using the heating off. So that's, you don't need to wire that one. And as you can see, number 5, that one there right on the end, it's just a link. So don't worry about that one. The new Hive one incorporates a link already. So we can do away with that one as well. I'm going to take the back plate off, leave the wiring in situ for the moment. It's all dead. So then I'll mount the new back plate, and then we can individually take every single one off, the wires off, and put them onto the new connections, so we don't lose. Rather than taking everyone off and mark it up, we're just going to do one by one, and that will save us a lot of hassle. Mounted, because it's surface mounted, this one, there's a little cutout at the bottom there. You just have to flick off with your cutters, and it's you've got a little that gap there on the base of the Hive receiver, and so once it goes on, it'll cover the wires. So let's go and wire it up now. There's the Live on the L. There's a link there, which we'll do away with that link, chuck that link away. So we need that wire there, which is the Live, to go to the Hive one, which is that one. Hive one, then the L onto the brown one onto the L of the Hive. Next one is the N, which is the blue one, which is the neutral. Right, that's the Live and neutral put in. Now we need to put the earth on. The earth one is the yellow and green. That one there. Right, that's the earth done, nice and tight. Okay, so we've got the main components there, which is the Live, which is the L, the neutral, which is the N, and the earth connected up. That's the power supply. Now we have to change the switching wires over. The first one we're going to do is the brown one, which is number 1 on the Potterton, and that corresponds to number 1 is hot water off. And all that does is put power to the diverter valve to shut it, so we don't have any hot water. So we'll do that one now, and then we'll move on. That's the first one done. Then that's the brown wire onto number 1, which is, let's go back, recap, which I believe is hot water off. There we go. Number 1 is hot water off. All that does is put a power to the diverter valve to close it, so no hot water is going through the hot tank. It's number 3, which is the grey wire. That one corresponds to, back on the Potterton again, number 3, which is hot water on. So that, although that fires the boiler up as well, it will operate the diverter valve to open it to allow water to circulate through the coil. Okay, so number 3 is hot water on, which is the grey one, and that corresponds to number 3 on there. The last one is the black wire, which is number 4, and that corresponds to number 4, central heating on. We don't use number 2, which is central heating off. We just go straight to number 4, which is central heating on. Basically, that just brings the pump on and turns the boiler on. So that's the black one, and that goes to number 4. So just to recap, you've got on the end ones, you've got Live neutral. Number 1 is hot water off. Number 2 is not being used. Number 3 is hot water on, and number 4 is central heating on. Okay, and that's that done. So the cover's back on now, that's the receiver finished. The next job now is go downstairs and we're going to mount the hub. And that's the hub. So we're going to plug it in and download the app and see if this will connect with the thermostat. The next job now is to download the Hive app to your Apple or Android phone. So go to your App Store. In this occasion it's the Play Store on an Android, and just press install. And that will install the Hive app for you. Once you've opened the Hive app, you have to create an account. While you're waiting for the Hive app to download, you might as well connect the hub to your router. So, look on the back of the router and you'll see different ports. Any one of those will do. And you stick your Ethernet cable in one end and the other end goes into there. Then you connect your power adapter. And then put that in there. Oh, we've got power straight away. So now it should be hunting for your Hive thermostat, but we need to put the batteries in first. Cover off, pull out a little strip, batteries in, put your cover back on again. And it starts up. It should be now searching for the receiver via the hub. And hopefully it finds it in a minute. Also just check you've only got a 3 amp fuse before you go any further. And then put that back in. And that will start to light up while it's searching now for your thermostat. While it's doing that, we'll just tie this back up again. Okay, that's back in. Still searching. Have we found the thermostat yet? Not yet. Right, we finally paired up. We had to turn it off a couple of times to get the pairing to work, but now we've got the thermostat, the green light, which means it's talking to it, and then we've got the thermostat here. Right, so what we need to do now is go downstairs and activate that app on your phone. Downstairs on the hub, then we've got a steady green light which shows it's actually working now. It's all paired up, and we can mount the thermostat and play about with it. So the heating's off at the moment, so if we increase the heat button and raise the target to, let's see if it will work. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Boiler in. Let's go and have a look. SMS. The app on your phone, you go to the home and then you go to manage devices and you want to go to the hub, and it'll ask you to put this 6-digit number in. Once you put the 6-digit number in, it will then talk to it, and you can go back and you can thermostat 1, and you can then alter the temperature however you want to. So that's obviously pick the thermostat 1 up, go to that, go all the way back, and you'll get this on there, and you can go to the heating and you can boost it. Go to schedule or off. You've got to set the schedule, but we've set it now at something like 28 to see if the boiler pulls in, and hopefully it has done. So we've turned the boiler temperature on the Hive app right to 30 to see if the boiler works, and now we've seen the boiler just pull in. It's just come on, so we know that everything's working okay. When you want to set the temperature on the thermostat, you just press a little button there. Tells you what the actual temperature is in the room, the ambient temperature. So you raise it to whatever you want to. This is just a test, so I'll put it at 30 just to test it. and then you press the centre button, the little round button, and that sets it. Okay, that sets it at 30. Go to the boiler, and the boiler's not struck up yet, but it will do in a second, I believe. I'll get it out of, and it will just strike up. Come on, come on, come on. It takes a few seconds, and it should come on any second now. He says. There we go. I just let it pull in, and there we go. So the boiler now is heating, sending water to the radiators. The radiator lights flashing. There we go. That's on. So we'll turn that back off to prove that's working okay. So go to that. It's preset for 24. So turn it down back to a decent ambient temperature, which is 18 in this house. So turn 18 and then set it. And that's it. Target on that one. Thermostat is 18. You can override that on the app, or you can raise it on the thermostat. And that's it. We're all finished. Right, one last thing. Put the Hive thermostats in your lounge or whatever, which we have. You might have a thermostat, the old thermostat in your hall, which you may want to get rid of. So what you have to do, rather than take it off, cut the wires and plaster up after, you can just take the cover off and short the two wires out, the normally open wires, so it'll still click, but it won't actually do anything. This will be like flat out all the time, on all the time, so the Hive unit, the Hive thermostat or the app will actually control the temperature. This is not doing anything now. Although it's clicking, we've shorted the wires out, so it's actually been bypassed. And that's it, we're all finished.